But first, as we've been saying all morning long, and we just watched the president depart for Alaska, Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump are on their way to Anchorage right now. We are just a few hours away from that historic meeting between those two leaders. And that is where we find our Zach Anders this morning, where delegations from both sides have already begun to arrive. I know it's very early there, Zach. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Charlotte. 4 a.m. here in Anchorage, and I'm standing outside Joint Base Elmendorf Richardson. The folks around here just call it Elmendorf. This is going to be the site of a historic meeting between long-term rivals and the echoes of the Cold War. This base is what it is as a result of countering the Soviet threat, and we were reminded of the Soviet influence in this state just last night. Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, as he stepped into Anchorage at his hotel, was wearing a shirt that says CCCP. That is in Cyrillic, the USSR, the Soviet Union. He's wearing the Soviet Union shirt as he arrives here in Alaska. This is a crowded town now. Every hotel room is booked. Every rental car is out. And the Russian journalists, we spotted many Russians yesterday out at local Anchorage diners and different restaurants, along with some of Putin's politicians out in the city, mingling with the regular everyday Americans here in Anchorage. It's quite a surreal sight, as this, again, is going to be the host of a meeting that we expect in about 10 hours. We are also watching as the protesters here, pro-Ukraine demonstrators, took over a large segment of downtown Anchorage yesterday evening. And what was surprising was seeing some of the signage that was very not just anti-Putin, but anti-Trump. We did speak to quite a few of those protesters. Here's what one of them had to say.
Peace should be made. Ukraine should get bilateral security guarantees. And maybe some bits of Donetsk stay in Russia. NATO need be no barrier for a bilateral security alliance between the United States and Ukraine.
Now, you heard that woman say there, get bits of Donetsk. That's a part of Ukrainian territory that was taken by the invading Russians during this full-scale invasion back in 2022. Now, the Russians hold about 18% of Ukrainian territory, and the concern of these protesters, by and large, was that they believed that a meeting like this could lead to a freezing of the conflicts. Everybody goes home, takes what they have currently on the table. The Russians would get about 18% of Ukrainian territories if you froze those current front lines right now and redrew the borders. Now, this is something that President Trump has reassured European leaders is not going to happen during this meeting today, that they're not going to discuss ceding any Ukrainian territory to the Russians with the Ukrainians not in the room. Today is a meeting between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin as an opportunity, as President Trump says, to gauge where the Russians are at and trying to determine if they're serious about achieving peace here. But either way, we're looking at an incredible moment where a wartime leader in Vladimir Putin is about to set foot on U.S. soil, and you would imagine there will be pictures of him side by side with President Trump in just a few hours' time, and those pictures will be shared and seen around the world. Charla?
All right, Zach Anders live for us in Alaska, where this historic meeting is set to take place. Thank you so much for your live reports this morning.